Well, good morning, everyone. It's Joni here at Joni's Journals, and today is Saturday, June 29th. I had to check. Good morning to you. What we are going to be working on today is my day 28. Now, if you have not already seen the video, you must go over and check it out. The creator for the 28th was Janet Schmitz. Here we can see her right there on YouTube. And I just absolutely fell in love with her tag. She is a designer for Elizabeth Craft Designs, and she just does some amazing grungy stuff. So what I began to do was I put together a little kind of journal, I guess you could say, because it's more than a tag. And what I have done is I have put aside a bunch of stuff that's going to need to be inked. So I'm going to go ahead and ink all of that. And what I did, just to start, I did a simple 3-hole pamphlet stitch, and I stitched everything together. But we are going to finish putting it all together, and I will come back in a little bit with all of this stuff inked, because I have everything picked out that we're going to put inside of this journal. But before I let you go, so I can go and ink, and I have chosen to use my scorched timber. My ground espresso is running out in my big, gigantic distress ink archival thing. So I've opted to go back to using the scorched timber, and I really am enjoying the effect that I'm getting from it. But before I go away and do that, I wanted to show you my day 28. Now, the little blurb for the day 28 was, oh, excuse me, I seem to have a little bit of a tickle. The player piece for the 28th was the planchette and spirit board with letters and numbers painted into it. Okay, what I did was I went on to Etsy, and I found, she happens to be one of my favorite, well, I think it's a she, creators for spooky stuff. And I went over, it's J. Lilo Designs, and I will remember to link the item that I bought, but go over and check her out. She's got some really cool stuff. I went over and I purchased a digital for a Ouija board, okay, which I have used to create my tag for my day 28. Now you can see I have not added my numbers yet, but since we had the little tag and it folded into an envelope, I put a little bit of Velcro on the back of it. And on the front, I just loved the way that the tag that came with the day's items for the make looked. And it just looked like torn fabric, torn cheesecloth. And so what I did was I took some of an old cheesecloth that I had laying around. It was tea-dyed. And I added it to the front of the tag. And then I cut the tag open so that I could create a little bit of a window so that you could see inside and just see the little Ouija board that's in there. So I added, like I said, I added the cheesecloth, which I really want it to kind of peek up here, and it's giving me a bit of a fuss time. And yeah, see if we can kind of get it to stick out there. And I put another little Velcro on here so that I could close it up and hold it tight so that it looked like you were looking behind torn curtains and seeing the Ouija board. And on here, I added my little case solved label from the freebie. And then I thought, well, what else can I put on here? So I took one of these little it's a paper flower that I created. I had done a bunch of them for the, Corey Dahman had done something with lace, and I can't remember what it's called. But I have a video up doing that. And this was one of the extra flowers that I had left over. So I just added it to the front of my little envelope. So that is my day 28. But what I also wanted to show you was, if you remember my video from the other day, it started with day 18 and it went straight through to my day 26 or 27, I think. I had forgotten to add the unsolved label on the front of my little tag, which I had done the embossing on, and that was thanks to my friend Celeste over at Woodland Inspired. So I wanted to show you that I added that, and that was day 21. And then also on my day 25, I just went back and I added a little bit of lace trim, because remember I said that the tag looked a little empty to me, and so I wanted to add something. This is the one where we created the door. You must leave. And we did all of this inside this little tag. And so I did want to show you that I had done all of that. Now, in addition to all of this stuff, I want to show you something that we might be working on in July. I am a big lover of Tim Holtz. Excuse me. If you follow me, you'll know that. And what I have begun doing, I purchased one of the new, I can't remember the exact name, but it's one of the little new journals that he created and that he has for sale now. And I have begun working on one of those. And so what I thought we might do, I've made it sort of a color chart kind of thing. And I've begun working on it, and then I put it aside to start doing my Creep on June. So what I thought I might do with you, and I'm not really too sure yet, it's kind of sticking together, is maybe we will work on this together. You know, maybe we'll do a little bit of work on it. I have begun doing the separate little color plaques, and I went yesterday to Hobby Lobby because I am quickly running out of my baseboard windows. I keep using these in my makes. And so what I thought we might do maybe in July is maybe we would get together and we might do some work on this, because I have a bunch of stuff prepared for it. It's in my little pouch here. Different little file folders that I've created already. And so we might be doing something with that. And this is a photo frame. This is from a video I did ages ago, where you can see I added the distress, crackle paint, and I put together little photo plaques. And so, yeah, we might be playing with that, but I just did want to give you a peek. If some of you are really into it, let me know, and we can perhaps do that. This one is taking quite a while, and so it's a matter of assembling all of the ephemera that's going to go into it. But I am going to go away now, and I am going to begin inking all of this stuff and getting it together, and then we will come back, and together we will assemble my little tag for day 29. Because like I said, although I have sewn it all together, there's still quite a bit of work that needs to go into this, and I thought it would be fun if we could do that as a team, okay? All right, guys, I will be back in a little bit, and we will get started on this, okay? See you soon. Bye. Okay, friends, we are back, and we are ready to begin working on my tag for day 29. I have finished inking all of my goodies, which you can see some of them over here, and I have them laid out in order so that we can put them all into this little tag journal that I have created. Once again, I do want to mention that this whole thing was totally inspired by Janet Schmitz. She's a creator for Tracy Fox. She's on the design team with me. She's been here a lot longer than I have. I am a relative newbie. And like I said, she also designs for Elizabeth Craft Design. So go over and check out her channel. She does a lot of things for both. She's fantastic. So let's get started. What I did was I cut out the letter from the very beginning. I believe, no, it's not a freebie. It's part of the kit. And it's when Rose and Jeffrey are writing to Mr. Brundle to have him come and perhaps, help them investigate what the heck is going on in their house. So what I did was I added that. It's on the outside of the tag for the day. It hasn't been glued down. I just simply sewed it together as part of the little tag journal. So what I wanted to do was, as you can see, I cut out the candles from the tag for the day, similar to what Janet did and probably almost identical. And I plan to add those to the very front of the journal, because our little player piece for today says, when the lights turned off, no, I'm sorry, with the lights turned off and the candles flickering, the room settled into an anxious hush. So everyone is getting ready for that little seance that they're going to have. Mr. Brundle and Dorothy and Carl and Rose and Jeffrey and the local reverend. And so, yeah, they're getting set for their little seance. So what I did was I cut out one of the little pieces, which is the little thing that goes around on the Ouija board. I don't know if this is the planchette. Yeah, I think this is the planchette, and the Ouija board is considered the spirit board. For copyright reasons, I know that Tracy wouldn't be able to use the word Ouija. She would get into trouble. So what I thought was I would create a pocket and leave this kind of sticking out. And I'm thinking now we might add an eyelet to this to make it a little bit sturdier so that it can be pulled out of the pocket. And so what I am going to do is, without hitting you, I'm just going to grab out my eyelets. And I am also going to grab out my crocodile. And so, yeah, we'll be adding an eyelet to the planchette. But first, let's make our pocket. Now, as you can see, I was measuring whereabouts the pocket, the glue should go. So I think on the inside of this, I'm going to put the glue to here so that this can easily tuck in but not get lost in the pocket. So I'm figuring, I'm going to add glue to here. Okay, so I'm going to put some glue going down my little pocket to be. I'm going to make a fine line there, and I'm going to scribble a little all around here. I don't want to glue it down too tightly because I don't want it to rip when we open and close our journal. And then I'm going to put some on the side here and on the side here, and maybe a little bit further in. I hope you can see what I'm doing, so that this way we create a cozy little pocket for our planchette. So let's just glue that down like so. I think we'll do all the gluing on this page first. And let's just try and safely tuck in our little planchette. Oh, well, I kind of put too much glue, but that's okay. It doesn't matter. All right, let's just push that all down and give that a second to dry. And then now let's glue down our candles. And I thought that they could go right over here where we could still see Dear Mr. Brundle and perhaps a little bit of his address. So we'll center it on the front of our tag, okay? Let's just grab the glue again. I want to say thank you to all of you who have been watching my videos. You guys are just absolutely stupendous. And I do so appreciate your comments and just so many lovely things that everyone's been saying. Last night after everyone went to bed, I sat with the puppies and cuddled a little bit. And I started answering the comments on that everyone has been making. So if I haven't answered your comment, I'm not ignoring you. I'm just kind of falling behind. It's been kind of busy around here. My husband was working, and I went out and spent the day with my daughter because she had the day off. And so we had a lot of fun shopping. We went to Hobby Lobby. We went to TJ Maxx, which I know that you guys who watch me that are in Great Britain and the European countries, you have something similar to what we call TJ Maxx, but I can't for the life of me remember what it's called right now. Okay, so there we go. We have our candles on the front. They might be just a little bit crooked, but that's okay. I'm not going to worry about that. And then what we're going to do, we're going to once again check to see that our little planchette will tuck in our pocket, and it does. I don't want to push it in too far. And I may, in fact, put it aside for now. So let me just find, I have some eyelets in here that are not super cooperative. You know what? I'm going to grab a brass one to try and kind of match the little brass button thingy that's there. So let's see, will that fit in? Yeah, let's just grab that. I punched the hole out with my Crocodile. If you see the original digital, you'll notice that there's a little white spot up at the top, at the tip of the planchette. And whoops, now, there we go. Okay, guys, for you, or those of you who have not yet seen me, try to get an eyelet into something and be successful about it. This is about the way it goes. Okay, let's try this again. Okay, I think I got it this time. All right, let's squeeze that down. Whoop. Okay. I think I'm getting a cold, guys, and that really kind of stinks. Okay, there we go. We have our little eyelet successfully added to our planchette. And this way we have something a little bit more meaty to grab onto. I'm just going to put that aside. And where did I put my little clip? I'm going to put a little clip on it. Excuse me. Just so that it doesn't randomly blow away. Okay. Now, as you've heard me tell you before, when I printed my tags originally, my printer had a little bit of a headache. So this background doesn't look as pretty as it actually is. But I'm going to work with it because I have been printing so much extra stuff here. What I thought we might do is we might add all of these little photos to the inside of the second page of our little tag journal to try and represent. And if you remember, I showed you this in my journal that I made. Maybe I'll grab it out. To try and represent all of the people who perished from the plague. So I just thought I might lay them out like that in sort of a little random thing. And this way we're killing two birds with one stone. We're kind of covering up my messy, yucky background there. And we're also decorating the inside of our little journal and showing the people who sadly perished from the plague way back in the 1600s. All right. So we got that one there. And maybe we'll put him next. Whoops. Yeah, come on. Hold him. All right. Let's put some glue on here. My teddy bear glue is slowly running out. And I have purchased some other glue. Oh, gosh. Why can't I think of the name of it yet? But so we may be working with something a little bit different shortly, within the next few videos because the teddy bear glue is running out. I got a better deal on the other one. Oh my Lord, what is it called? Not art glitter glue. Maybe it is art glitter glue. I think it is art glitter glue. I purchased that. I had used it once before. And I struggled with it because it does take so quickly. But I've been getting better at making sure my stuff is in the right spot because the teddy bear glue grabs relatively quickly too. So I thought, all right, let's try again with the art glitter glue and see if we can be kind of successful with that. All right, let's just add this glue. So how is everyone doing? Are you playing along? I hope so. If you're not, that's fine too. Not everybody can afford to buy a kit. But even if you don't have a kit, you can still create a creepy little, journal for yourselves. Okay, so now we've got that page down. Let me just grab out my journal. And I did happen to have it handy. If you remember, I did the same kind of thing on the inside cover of my journal with, actually the same exact photos. How funny is that? So yeah, I had done that once again to represent the souls that had perished in Craftley Hall. And these are my photo cards that I made. There is a video for that early on in the series of the Creep on June. Okay, so we have that there. And I kind of feel like should have maybe done some stenciling there, but it's okay. It's all right. Now, this is the envelope the letter that we have here on the front. This is the envelope that came with that letter. And so all we're simply going to do to this one is we are just going to add the little address label onto the front of the envelope, which I have already inked, and I have the little stamp. And as you know, with the love story part, when Tracy showed us all of the lovely digital, she had created the freebies for the love story. Jeffrey had sent his letter to Rose with a 4-pence stamp. So she remarked that his letter would get to her faster than hers would get to him because he used a 4-pence stamp and she only used a 2-pence stamp. So I do have the little 4-pence stamp here, and I'm going to put it here. And I just realized I also cut out the little wax seal. So maybe just to make it a little spookier, maybe we'll add the little wax seal down there. It kind of balances things out. All right, we're going to have to ink though. Let's just put the stamp on and get that part done. And yeah, it's kind of quiet around here. The boys have been put down for their nap. That would be the puppy boys. The puppy has to be put down for his nap. The other guy, Roger Dodger, is 5, and so he does like to take the occasional couple of hour nap during the day. And since the puppy gets very upset when his brother is sleeping, I figured let's give them both a break because they played long and hard this morning when they got up. And everybody has been relieved themselves outside. And so I think they'll be safe to sleep for a bit. And they've been kenneled and bedded down for only about an hour or so far. And so, yeah, I do have some more time where we can finish this up. So there we have our little envelope. And of course, I really haven't prepared anything to tuck into the envelope, although I do have another miniature of the Ouija board. So I may just ink that up too, and we'll leave that to tuck in the pocket. But I do have something that I want to glue down on the outside of the pocket. Let's just ink that up like so. Again, this is my scorched timber. And I'm sorry for those of you that are bored by inking. Take a sip of coffee. Go get a snack. All right, we'll put that aside. See, guys, you didn't have to suffer for too long. And we are going to grab the little spooky photo of our little girl here. Now, I am not able to print on transparencies, and I really haven't attempted it. I don't want to kill my printer. So I am going to Google it and see if the model of my printer is capable of printing on transparency. I'll do a little investigation into that. to see maybe we can do that at a later date with some other kind of thing we might be doing. So you can see I'm just putting some glue around 3 sides of the photo because I want to put it down onto my envelope. But I don't want it to interfere with the opening and closing of the envelope. So we're just going to stick her down right there, and I'm going to grab my little quote-unquote bone folder and make sure that I haven't glued her completely to the envelope. And no, I have not. So that was successful. And we can take our little Ouija board and we can tuck it in behind her and leave it kind of peeking out. Okay, well, that went well. Now, this is yet another digital. I did cut out the hand again because, as you can see, they're having the seance and there is just the shadow of the hand in the photo. I'm hoping you can see that, the little fingers here and such. And so what I thought we would do is we would glue the photo down and put the hand down, sort of as shadowing the fingers. And of course, what would the hand be holding but the little spirit board? Okay, so let's put some glue down and we'll get that done too. And then for my centerpiece, you may have seen it briefly on the flip through, the digital from J. Lilo Designs of the Ouija board. She was having a sale when I purchased these digitals. I don't know how long the sale was on for, but it was relatively inexpensive, unless, of course, you guys have something else you can use. I mean, I'm not pushing you to buy a digital if you can't really afford it, but her digital did come with 3 sizes of the spirit board. And so for my centerpiece on my other tag, for my centerpiece, not on my other tag, but for my centerpiece of the little book, I do have a larger Ouija board. So let's just glue our hand down and catch up all those fingers, because in this case, unlike when I used the hand before in one of my other makes, I can't remember what day it was. Oh, it was my make. When I used it in my make, I glued the hand with the fingers in different positions. In this case, we're just going to lay the whole hand down and try to get it so that maybe the fingers will match up. Okay, well, that's kind of, if you remember that part of the story, there was a convict who had lost a finger. And I don't know if the intention of the convict being in the story was maybe he was the one that brought the plague about in the town, or if he was one of the first to pass away from the plague. I don't really know. I can't remember what the book said, what the story said. All right, let's just put some glue on the back of our little spirit board, and we'll lay our spirit board down so that we can see all of the fingers of the hand, and it's holding our little spirit board. Yeah, I was looking through some of my makes and I realized that I haven't been doing a lot of layering, which is something I enjoy doing. Okay, this is the center of our little booklet. And as you can see, again, it is a spirit board. And this was part of the kit that I purchased from J. Lilo Designs. It comes in 3 sizes, small, medium, and large. And this was the medium size, I believe. And then we have our other little planchette. Now, unlike this one where we added the eyelet, I'm not going to add an eyelet in that hole because I kind of just want it to lay down here and maybe be peeking through so that you can see the bottom of one of the other letters. My cousins had a Ouija board and we lived next door to each other growing up. And so they would play with it. They were old enough to be of the, I don't know if you're going to remember this show, Dark Shadows with Barnabas Collins, and I don't remember the names of all the other people that lived in the manor house that he lived in. But they used to like to watch that on TV, and I was a bit of a wimp, and I still am a wimp. And so that show used to give me nightmares. And then the girls got the Ouija board, and my mother forbid me to actually even have anything to do to play with it. It was considered a game back in the 70s. So yeah, this kind of reminds me of that. Okay, and now for our next page, what you can see here is I did take, these were the add-ons to the kit, and this was one of the little file folders that came with the kit. Excuse me. And I do just love this little file folder. So I didn't want to glue it down and lose the effect of the whole thing. So what I did was I glued it to the envelope flap and made it part of one of the pages. Now I do have some other things. And yes, again, we do have another spirit board because I just feel it's important in this make. We do have the little diary page where it says, diary May 1920. And what I thought was, since that was an important aspect of the story, because Jeffrey and Rose bought their house in 1920, I thought we would make that kind of just a little flip here. And you can see I printed everything on the same background, the background that in essence matched this, at least in my eyes. This was a kind of a shrunken down version of this background page. And so, yeah, I just printed everything using that as a background onto each page. So what I'm going to do is I want to glue this down, like I said, as sort of a little flip. But again, make it another little pocket where we can tuck in yet another spirit board. And in this case, I think we're going to be safe if we glue around all four sides, because the spirit board will tuck in nicely. Now, let me make sure. Yeah, okay. Am I gluing the right side? Yes. Okay. I'm going to put glue on 3 sides of this to create the pocket. And this way we can tuck our other little spirit board in. And there we go. All right, we have our glue, which you can see is drying already. And that's because it's a little warm in my house today. The electric bill was out of control last month, and my husband was kind of like, Joni, did you see the amount of this electric bill this month? And so I've been trying to be better about keeping the air conditioning at a different level. But if you are also in your 60s like I am, and you might still suffer from hot flashes, yeah. My family doesn't understand what it is like to be constantly warm. All right, so there we go. We made our little pocket, and we're going to tuck our little spirit board in like that, okay? But again, I'm going to let the glue dry. I'm going to put that aside for there. And then what I did, I just simply loved the way that Janet did this. I don't know, can you actually see that face in there? That is the face of that little mournful, lonely child who Janet used one of the camera lenses and put her behind. Now, I don't have mica, and I don't remember. I think she might have also used like a window plastic. What I did was, again, I embossed my window plastic, and I did remember to bring the embossing folder over. And it is the Sizzix Texture Fades. And it's the embossing folder, and it's 666. Oh, great, the sign of the devil. 666295, and it's called Cracked. Okay, so that's the embossing folder that I used to achieve this little effect, which I'm hoping you can see. And again, I coated it with the alcohol ink. and the color I used was espresso. So I made it really kind of dark so you can barely see her through there, but that's the effect I wanted. And I am just going to glue her down right here, just on the back of the file folder, because I feel like it just gives the perfect background. And so we are going to glue her down. You can see where I added my plastic and my photo. And so I'm just going to put a load of glue around on the window plastic here. And you might be able to see the effect of the embossing a little bit better. And I am going to put a load of glue onto the back of the photo, which I added on top of the window plastic in the back of my frame. And I'm just going to lay it down, and I'm going to try and center it here like so, and just leave it like that. And hopefully it's straight. Let me peek. Yep, it's straight. And I'm just going to push this down, and maybe I'm going to use my little bone folder here, maybe to just push it down a little bit more so that it stays stuck. Because the teddy bear glue works well with the plastic, but because it is plastic, it does take a few seconds for it to dry. And yeah, we're going to add that like that, and I'm just going to push down on the center, and I think we're good. Now, I do have this lonely little guy that I could add back here. Yeah, maybe we'll just grab my scissor. He has a little wife, but I cut him away from his wife because I had planned to use him for something else. And so I didn't. And so I have him just kind of sitting here. In fact, if you look close enough, you can see his wife's hand on his arm. All right, I think we got that. There we go. Let's ink him up a little. And I'm just checking to make sure I'm not going into a ridiculous amount of time where everyone will be bored and you won't want to follow along anymore. Now, do you remember I had my little skeleton bartender? Should we make him a bartender? No, I don't like that idea. I think we're just going to add him for a little bit of an effect here. And we'll kind of put him over to the side in case I come back and I decide I want to add something else. But he could be the gentleman who, in another lifetime, lived at Craftley Hall, and he's come forward into the little seance. Or maybe we could even pretend that he's the reverend who passed away. That's cool. Let's do that. We'll say that he is the reverend who lived at Craftley Hall and unfortunately died away from the plague. There we go. And I kind of like how he just kind of is sort of blended in with the background there. Okay, so that worked out well. And our photo has been successfully added. So let's flip over to our next page, which is this one. Now, if you remember, our story began with the doctor and his wife who purchased Craftley Hall. And unfortunately, the doctor was killed while investigating one of the outhouses. So this is my doctor and his wife. And this is the tag that also came along with this little add-on. And so I thought that we could put this over here to represent the people. And you know what? I'm going to round 2 of these corners. And let's do that. I'm going to round the 2 outer corners because they kind of go up against the rounded edges on here. And I thought that they would represent some of the people who lived on the grounds at Craftley Hall, who were the ones that were affected by the plague and who passed away prior to the doctor and his wife purchasing the home. Or maybe they were the ones that died after the fact. I don't know. We'll just say they're a bunch of dead people. at Craftly Hall. We don't really have to dwell on it, or we could. So I'm just going to add glue. My glue is getting a little bit fussy now. I think it's getting stuck into the little applicator tip. So yeah, these are our dead people at Craftly Hall. And we are just going to add them to this side of the file folder. And I'm working around my tripod here, people. Can you actually see what I'm doing? Yeah, let's try to move that over. See how the rounded corners go better with the rounded corners on the file folder? And then, okay, so that's there. And then I thought to try and disguise the flap of the envelope, we would put the doctor and his wife right about there. I don't know if my glue is running out or if it just really is getting kind of fussy in the little applicator tip. I love this fine tip. But what I may do is I may just prepare 2 different bottles. I do the teddy bear glue, if you know. It comes with, I have linked it rather on my videos before. It comes with a little kit of tips, so you can pick which applicator tip you want to put on your bottle. And I may prepare 2 bottles in a different way. One with the fine tip, and it comes with a larger tip. I don't have the little vial that the tips come in. And then what I thought we would do is we would add these spooky little moths here to the photo, one flying in. Well, they're both kind of flying in. One flying in from the top and one flying in from the bottom. And yeah, we'll just do that. Okay. Oh, see how the glue comes out better sometimes when it wants to. And yeah, I may do 2 different bottles, one with a thicker, one with a wider opening and one with the narrow opening. I might use those on my art glitter glue once I open that. All right, so let's add our little moths here. And let's put some glue on the back of this one. And we'll add our little moths to the other side. See, it's being fussy. All right. Oh, guys, I really think I'm getting a cold. Either that or my allergies are just super acting up. It is really warm and humid here. Speaking of warm and humid, have you guys gone over? Angie Garcia showed us how to do tin types using transparencies. And again, this is why I want to figure out if I can print onto transparencies with my printer. And Tracy did a video where she showed us again how to do it using aluminum foil tape. Look, there we go. There's our little file folder prepared. Okay, so we're in there so far. Whoops, what hit what? I think he hit the edge. Let's push that down. Okay, and now we're finally at our last inside page. And for this, I picked the tag of the hallway because, as you can see, it's the open door. And everyone that came for the seance would come in through the front door. And so I figured we would put that on the back to represent people arriving for the seance, those of a human body form and those of a spiritual form. And in this way, I could also cover up the horrible printing that my printer was doing when I did everything. And so I thought we would add this as the very back of it. And let's just get plenty of glue on here. I think that me trying to add glue to my tags must be worse than watching me ink. Okay, and we'll try and get that sort of centered before the glue takes over, which it did. And then we would put our little player piece for the day up here on the left. And since we have flickering candles, we could maybe put this down here on the bottom right. Okay, I don't know if I like that though. I think I might want to bring it in a little bit further. Let's just add that over here and kind of, we'll add our candles down here. Sort of like they're in the room at the end of the carpet. Yeah, I think I like that a little bit better. I don't think I like the player piece for the day on a tilt. I usually put a lot of things on a tilt, but I want to accentuate the player piece and also make it part of the room, I guess, so to speak. So let's put that back over here and kind of, line it up a little bit. And this way you can still see the staircase along here, and you can still see the doorway. And again, we'll put our little candles at the bottom to represent the room that everyone is going to walk into, whether they're floating like ghosts or actually walking on feet. It can be here at the end of the carpet that leads us into the room where the seance is taking place. Okay, I think I kind of like that. And then finally, for the back, I am going to just glue this down, and maybe I'll make it a pocket. I don't know. I'm just going to leave it as a pocket. Whether or not I'll actually use it as a pocket, I don't know. If there's anything else I kind of want to stick in there. But this is the other side of the letter that Rose and Jeffrey wrote to Mr. Brundle, Ernest, our good friend Ernest. And I'm just going to lay it down this way. And this way, in case I want to add anything to it that I might want to tuck in as an addition to our little tag, I have the little pocket. Okay, now, of course, we are going to have to add our day number. So let's just grab out our little numbers. And I think I'm going to use the scorched timber this time. And this is day 29. So let's grab our 9 and our 2, and we'll put them together like so. This is a great little kit. I have shared it in my, linked it on my other videos, and then we'll just grab the alphabet stamps, and they do come together. I'll try and remember to link it. I have to remember link Jay Lilo, Janet Schmitz, and also these little numbers here, okay? Oh, excuse me. I have the hiccups. And let's just ink it up for our day 29. I think it's pretty good. Okay. And we will just add that to the back of our little book, and hopefully it will show. Okay, well, it's not bright and shiny, but it's there. All right, and let's go back. Let me just get this out of the way. I'll put the whole kit back together after. I really like this picture. Maybe I'll just tuck it in there. Maybe I'll just ink it and I'll stick it in there. I do actually like this little kind of cabinet thing here. I loved all of these. I purchased some digitals. Oh, and I can't remember who I purchased them from. And what they are is kind of spooky cabinets. One is kind of a fairy theme, and one is a laboratory theme. And I have purchased off of eBay an older Tim Holtz die set. It's called Laboratory, and it makes little spooky bottles. So that might become part of a Halloween make. All right, we're tucking our little bottles in there just because I want to. All right, so let's go back and let's tuck in our little planchette into our front pocket here, which should be dry enough now. Okay. Come on, get in there. Oh, I think we did a little too much glue, but that's all right. We can always put it sort of on an angle. That works. Okay, there's our little planchette, and I might add a string to it. And we have our second page. Of course, this was our first page with our flickering candles and our letter to Mr. Brundle, our long forgotten souls, and our little envelope that the letter was mailed in, our spooky little girl with our spirit board behind her, the hand, which is represented in the little seance, looking through the crystal ball. Okay. And then, of course, we have our spirit board with our other planchette that was part of the kit. And our diary from May of 1920. Who knows? This may have taken place in May of 1920. And then we have our other little spirit board, which we can slide in right there, still kind of peeking out. Our Reverend, who is nothing more than a skeleton now. Our spooky little girl looking through the window and seeing what's going on. Our lovely little file folder with a picture of Craftley Hall and some paperwork on it. Our dead people, because I don't know. Our doctor and his wife and the little moths flying in around them. Of course, our player piece with the lights turned off and the candles flickering. The room settled into an anxious hush, placed onto our little tag, showing everybody a doorway where everybody comes into the room. And finally, the back of our little tag with the piece that I just had to tuck in the pocket. And our day 29. I may go back and add some beads, and because I do still have some in my little bottle here. Let me put the pin in my glue, and I will say goodbye for now. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Again, I have my drawing. I'm beginning to think that I might do my drawing on July 1st. I don't know. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to do it on the 30th. I'm going to say I'm going to do it on the 30th, and it's going to be later in the evening. I'm just going to have to make my whole family be quiet. But anyway, thanks for coming along. I hope you enjoyed day 29. Thank you, Janet, for the inspiration and the beautiful tag that you made. And I'm going to send all of you lots of love, big hugs, and ask you to please remember to like, subscribe, and comment. Click on the link. I will leave the link for the calendar. All of the videos are still available. Tracy is compiling everything into a big, long playlist. You can go on to her page, and I think her channel, rather. And there's a way, I think, to access the playlist. If you put in hashtag #CreepOnJune24, her playlist should pop up, and you can go back and look that way. The easiest way is just to click on the link in the description box below. I will share J. Lilo Designs. I will put another link for the Barely Art Glue. I will put a link for this stamp set. And was there anything else I was supposed to link? If I can find it, I don't know if I can. It might not. I can only link things basically safely from Amazon. I tried from Simon Says Stamp, and I think I actually did link something from there, so call me a liar. I'll try and link this too in case any of you are interested. So yeah, that's it. I hope you had fun. Bye for now, and I'll see you soon. Have a great rest of your day, night, afternoon, whatever, wherever you are in this world, because I know my friends like Nat Williams, Deb Zagarit, and Tracy are all at different time zones, and so somebody might be going to sleep, somebody's having their afternoon tea, somebody's staying up late. Nat, you know who you are. Bye for now. I'll see you soon. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great time making your own tag. Bye. Hi guys, I'm back. I just wanted to clarify. I seem to have screwed up my numbers. And you can see I'm doing this by holding my phone. This was my day 27. tag that I showed you in the video, and I made a boo-boo on this one, which is not my day 29 as I originally stamped it. This is, and I have corrected it. Fortunately, the scorched timber wasn't as dark. This was my day 28. When I started watching the video back and I started looking at all of my other tags, which are piled up over there, which is days 18 through 26, I said, oh my Lord, Joni, what did you do? So to clarify, this one with the little flip up curtain was day 27. And this one, which was the one that we just finished working on, the little tag booklet, this is day 28. So yeah, guys, I am really losing my mind, but I just wanted to clarify that. So I'm going to say bye for now. Lots of love, big hugs. Please remember to like, subscribe, and comment, even if I can be a little bit of a dingbat. And I'll see you in my next video. Okay, guys? Take care. Bye.